Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's doing good. Like I
Happy
told you guys
Wednesday,
today,
folks.
there'll be no Mr. Lee today. He's working. They need some math formulations done, so they had the Asian to come and do it. Uh,
The Asian calculator.
the Asian calculator.
Oh man.
So that's why he's not here today. And we get Facebook up and running on live. There we go. Well, we got to talk about Mr. Fetterman. Um, he was involved in a recent car accident with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we are going to do what any good podcast team does: speculate. We are going to speculate. Why? Because we can.
Mm.
Because you know what's the best way to find something out? Questions and speculations.
Yeah.
It's one of the best methods
That's
of
right.
finding out information. A curious mind is a mind that will be eventually fed. So we're going to be curious today. What we do have is the information first, and then we'll dive into the police report and stuff. Pennsylvania United States Senator John Fetterman and his wife Gisele, or Gisele probably more likely, were involved in an early morning crash Sunday morning in Maryland, according to Fetterman's office. Police told Fox Digital that shortly before 8 a.m. on Sunday, troopers from the Maryland State Police Hagerstown Barrack responded to an area of westbound Interstate 70 at Interstate 68 between Pennsylvania and West Virginia for a report of a two-vehicle crash. According to the investigation, police said that a Chevrolet Traverse and a Chevrolet Impala were both traveling west on I-70 when, for unknown reasons, the Traverse truck struck the rear of the Impala. That was Fetterman's vehicle, by the way, the one that struck the other car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the crazier part. Um, when you read down, let me see if I get it
Huh.
here. Okay, here. Police said no citations were issued and that the crash investigation remains active and ongoing.
Hmm.
Okay, my first question to the panel.
Hmm.
If you've
Hmm.
ever been in a car accident where you were the one rear ending another car, have they ever let you go with no citations?
Nope.
No.
Not once. Not ever.
No.
Not happening.
So would this make him above the law?
Yes. I mean, we've talked about this many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this many, many times. How the two-tier justice system, whether it's big, small, doesn't matter. What happens to them is a lot different than what happens to us. Again, if you was to do that, if Coy was to do it, if myself was to do that, we would have been standing there getting a citation, or depending on how we were driving, we'd be thrown in handcuffs and taken to the station.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had Jamal Bowman privilege. You know, I can just walk into a random place in the Capitol and just pull a fire alarm and disrupt meetings and nothing happens.
Be done. Yeah.
I mean, if that's not privilege, I don't know what is. And it's not black privilege, it's the congressional privilege.
It's a crazy kind of privilege, is what it is.
Yeah.
We have the police report. So we're going to take a gander at the police report real quick, see exactly what they said he did, and if there was any reason for a citation to be issued, okay?
Yep.
The conditions were cloudy, surface dry, no defects on the road, daylight. Oh. Vehicle 2 was traveling westbound in lane 1 when it was rear-ended by vehicle 1. The witness to the accident advised vehicle 1 passed her traveling at a high rate of speed, well over the posted speed limit at which she was traveling at the time. Shortly after vehicle 1 passed the witness, she observed vehicle 1 rear end vehicle 2 just prior to exit 1. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm dummy. High rates of speed past the speed limit, rear end in a car, and no citations?
Yep. And they were taken to the hospital.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. See, because you see that right there, that third paragraph, all three individuals involved in the accident were transported to the hospital.
Interesting. Maryland State
both
property
vehicles were
was
towed.
not damaged. Okay, I'm not care about the property. You have a guy, witness told you speeding. He rear-ended a car. That alone is a ticket for reckless driving.
Yeah.
At minimum. Not quite sure how this. Anyway, the speed limit was 70, downhill grade, curved right, 2 lanes. Oh, he has progressive. Oh, yeah, look at that. He has progressive. I have progressive too. I'm just like him. Moving constant speed. Also, it looks like they didn't even put anything about the speeding on this. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed.
See, who was the person in the other vehicle? Did it say up there? I think I missed it.
There's a no name, but there's that person right there. But they didn't get the name. But no, nothing about the speeding.
62-year-old female.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is in the Impala.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's speculate, shall we? This is what I'm going to speculate. There is some bias going on, and we need to get to the bottom of this. Okay, we have a car wreck. Even if you're going 5 miles over the speed limit, they didn't put. Do they have pictures of the cars?
No, I don't think we've actually seen any of them. But it did say in that report that they were disabling. So the damage was significant enough that they had to tow the vehicles.
Yeah.
And they were disabled.
Yeah, Michael is fine. Michael has a delay in his computer because I think he has way too many things running on his computer right now.
That's what the Obama internet.
I have decided. I think that's what it is.
No, Coy, that's your internet. I actually have high-speed fiber optic.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why it's doing it.
So here is the official. This is their official release statement from his actual account of Senator John Fetterman addressing it. Thought we'd play that.
Hi, everybody. You've heard that we were involved in a car accident, and that's absolutely true.
It was the worst anniversary.
Yeah, and not great for your wedding anniversary, but we're both great. And thank you for all of you that you care. Thank you so much. But actually, I'm using frozen peas from the teeter in the yard, and of course Tylenol. But we're great. But thank you for anyone with well wishes.
Well, licious. That was a good one.
Yes,
I like
that's
that.
his wife. That's his wife.
Yes, that is his wife. Yes. Wasn't she? She was one of the people that were given amnesty. I think she's Cuban, if I remember right.
She's something. I'm confused though, and maybe people in the audience can help me. I'm confused. Here's why I'm confused. I was told that nobody is above the law. If nobody is above the law, how does one get out of a traffic citation after being the one to rear end somebody? To the point where cars, like Coy said, have to be towed. It's not even like it's a little poop. I couldn't press the brakes in time and I just touched the back of your car. We are talking about you had to lay into that person. So how is it that he's not? I don't understand that one. Now, we had speculated before that it might have been a shot across the bow to him. I don't think so.
He got a warning.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a shot across the bow.
It could still be. I mean, they're the type of people that also claim that somebody that hangs himself and shoots himself in the chest is a suicide. So
the only way I can see it is if they cut the brakes
but what
he didn't have brakes.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I could say about that is how he got away with it. So you have to look out historically when officers pull other officers over, when they pull over mayors, when they pull over district attorneys, when they pull over all these high profile people, you see the same thing. These people get privilege, so him being the person he is, of course. Yeah. Professional courtesy, him being the person he is, of course he gets that professional courtesy. That's why it happens, and it should happen. And we've talked about it many times on this show about the The justice system is messed up. Because these people can pretty much, he could have ran somebody over in the middle of the street and probably just walked. What if those people would have got really injured? He would have just walked.
Well, he's still walking.
Yeah,
he's still walking.
I mean, he would probably have to do the Caitlyn treatment if the person died.
But okay, if they didn't issue a ticket then, again, this is my ignorance showing, and I'm more than happy to be corrected. If they didn't issue a citation then, can they do it post-event?
Yes, they can.
Yes.
I mean, it also could be the prerogative of the police officer or the acting officer at the time.
And you think they will?
I think
or it'll just go away.
It'll go away.
Yeah, that's more likely what's going to happen is that they'll settle.
I think his people are already involved. I guarantee they're talking to the people that got injured, and they're probably going to offer them a lot of money just to go away.
I had forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me that Karine Jean-Pierre did have a DUI recently, and she got away with that too.
She got away with that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
no one's
that.
Above the law.
They're going.
Yeah, nobody's above the law.
No one's.
No one's above the law.
That's the next T-shirt. Right? No one's above the law, and then put all the people that are above the law. Have all their pictures up.
Yeah,
that'd be a full shirt. That'd be like a Brady Bunch shirt.
Where it's like, I am the law.
This would be one of those. This would be one of those things that it's kind of big news now, but it's not. You know, it's kind of there, but it's not. You know, and next week it'll be a fart in the wind, man. You won't even hear nothing about it. The people will already be paid off. They'll be given their hush money, a couple $100,000, maybe a little more. Repair their car, get them a new car, pay for their hospital bills, pay them a little hush money, and it'll go away. Exactly what's going to happen.
See, for me, the reason why I say that it was a shot across the bow is because of everything he's been saying recently about the left. Mm-hmm. And he had just gotten on Bill Maher talking about why he's not progressive anymore and pushing him back against narratives. Like that's the thing that got me. You know, he might be a little outspoken because there was another person in the Democrat Party that was starting to make waves in New York, who was Mayor Adams, who kept saying that there was too many illegals in this town. And then they said, shut the hell up or we're going to bring up some nasty things.
And he shut up quick. He shut up real quick.
He did. Yep. Has anybody heard about whatever that was going on with that sexual allegation that happened?
Not a thing. Nothing happened with that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's run down the rabbit trail. Say this was a message being sent. Now, what you'll never find out is if the brakes got cut or there was some other extenuating circumstances of why he couldn't stop. You'll never find out if he was being chased. None of that information will ever come out. So it is left to us to kind of, speculate on it. But let's speculate and stay in line of what the Democrats normally do. They want you to stop doing a certain thing. They send a message, either by someone in your family passing or you getting injured, or in some cases, like Seth Rich, you get offed all the way. Now, suppose they were trying to get to him and say, hey, get back in line. You know when we're going to find out? The next bill that he passes. I'm looking at the bills right now, and he introduced one on 6/5. And this accident happened on 6/9. Okay. On 6/5, a bill to reduce regulatory barriers to housing and for other purposes. So he sponsored that one. A bill to expand nationwide access to fertility treatment, including vitro fertilization. A bill to effectively staff the high-need public elementary and secondary schools in the United States with school-based mental health service providers. So he started to move away, right to contraception. Okay, he's not pushing for the like you said, Coy, for the left-wing agenda. He was starting to push a whole lot of bills that, how can you say this? Were not conducive to the Democrat Party. Is that how you'd say it?
Yeah, they weren't in favor of policies
so,
of the establishment.
So maybe it is true. Maybe he is maybe it was something that he was brought up on to try and tell him stop.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of clips that show kind of that rationale. Here's one of them.
This situation seems to be more coming from very safe and blue, very kinds of places. Now, in Pennsylvania, the border security is an important issue, and we do all believe that we should have a secure border. And I never thought it was unreasonable for any Democrat to want to make our border more secure.
I want to ask you personally about your own sort of journey, as the kids say. Some progressives have criticized you for being a different senator than you suggested you would be when you were a candidate for Senate. What do you say to that?
Well, I wasn't. I was very clear for saying that for years I'm not a progressive, and I just identified myself as just a regular Democrat. So it really wasn't any new news. Now, 8 years ago, I was a progressive, but the situation's changed, and I've been very clear that I didn't leave that label. That label left me, and I think it's much more important to be focusing on Donald Trump instead of,
There you go. From the man's own mouth.
Huh.
What's the two things you took away from that clip?
Me, I took away his defiance. He was very adamant about that, but he was also very closed off in his delivery. And secondarily, the host seemed very upset at his answers.
Yeah. So
She was-
he just said border control is a common sense thing to have.
To
and
have,
most
yeah.
Democrats believe that controlling the border is a good
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So what current politician who holds one of the highest office in the lands is doing that is counterproductive to what he was advocating for? I couldn't imagine who that could be.
Who that was?
I don't know who that
Some
might have
old
been.
white guy.
Yeah, some old white
Some
guy.
old
He's,
crackety white guy. No.
His name.
His
We
name
shall
is
not
George
say
Bush.
it.
Voldemort.
you shall not be named. Yeah.
Okay, so for all intents and purposes, he started to move away. And with him moving away, it comes with a little bit of backlash. The question will remain, and we're going to make I'll make my prediction now. He's going to straighten up and fly right because he actually wants the seat. You'll see him change his tune here in about a month.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's another one that I thought was really interesting, and it's about the kind of progressive way that they like to protest people. But he's like, "Oh, I have common sense."
it is not appropriate or legal, or it's helpful to advance your argument if you show up in a Starbucks with a bullhorn and start yelling at people, and that doesn't make you noble. It just makes you an asshole. It's very
Base John Fetterman right there.
Okay, I would have never thought I'd heard him say something that direct and awesome before. I would have never thought that. Not in all my days. Yeah, they can't have him waking up. They can't have him waking up.
For him saying he's not a progressive, it's pretty believable because he doesn't speak like a progressive.
No.
Yeah.
You know, he talks more like a center kind of left guy. And Coy mentioned earlier that he's a Union Democrat. So
Yeah, he's an old
I
school
don't know.
Union
It's not
Democrat.
surprising that he's going the way he's going. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the type of person the Democrats
Not
used to
surprising
say
at all.
they were for the working
He's
class.
still run.
You know. Yeah, but they don't. But the working class and unions don't give you enough money, so you
Yeah.
have the neo-nobility that exists today and the socialites that give you money. Since all of the corporations and Hollywood and everything else are apparently for leftist causes, but somehow the Republicans are still the party of money,
Mm-hmm.
even though everything is for the leftist progressive cause. The Republicans are still the dirty money people. It's amazing how that works.
All of the bills that he's been putting forth are center to right in content. They're not center to left. This year alone, he's pushed. Let me see. We're up to 1-4. He has pushed almost 20. Hold on. This year alone, okay, starting in December. Okay, so starting in March, Since March, he's pushed 60 bills forward, and 90% of them are center to right. That's impressive. That's actually pretty impressive.
Maybe he's a Trojan horse.
He may end up defecting. I bet you if he does defect, you're gonna hear them saying that the brain damage has something to do with it.
Well, that's what Manchin's already done. You know, he's went
his stroke.
neutral, like he went to independent. He's not caucusing with the Democrats anymore because he knows he's losing his seat. Like, there's no way he wins West Virginia again.
No.
As a Democrat, not happening.
Do you think they've lost that seat for good then?
No, I mean, I think as long as Manchin plays it as a independent and he says the right things, he could probably retain his seat. Just because he's an incumbent, he's been in there a long time, people know who he is. It might be a better alternative. Because who knows if the Democrat they put up is going to be the one that's going to replace him, and it could be worse. So, who knows?
Hey, you know what? Replace them
West
all.
Virginia.
I don't care how long they. Yeah, I don't care how long they've been there. You know, I'm all about replacing them. Put somebody else in there. If they don't know how the guy is, put him in there. If Manchin loses a seat, so be it. I say that about all the seats. Hey, I'd rather roll with those dice than what we got now.
So the consensus is do we think that they actually did this as a wake-up call to Fetterman?
I think so, because, like, I mean, is it really that far-fetched that the DNC or even the Democrats would not hire a old woman to maybe get in his way and, like, slow down or something? Or, like you said, the likelihood of something manipulating his vehicle to accelerate or even to make it seem like he was going slower than he thought he was. I don't know. But he also has brain damage, so there's that too. It could be all coincidence, but I have to think that this guy isn't following the line. And just like they did with AOC, they threatened her to fall in line, and now she's perfectly a darling of the establishment. But Fetterman is a different story.
They put her in her
because he's not only not following the lines, he's even going against what they want.
He was driving a Traverse, right?
Yeah.
And his Traverse is what year? 2021. Okay. I'm looking at something here. Something just crossed my mind to check and see if this is something that has any weight. To see if it has any green or automatic kind of settings to it. Nope, none of that stuff. So if they had to do it, they had to do it physically. It would have to be physically that they would have to manipulate it.
Yeah.
And I don't look. I'm not putting it past them. But
you remember you know those bait cars, right?
Yeah. Bait cars. Yeah. Do we lose him?
He froze out.
I think I know where he's going with that. It could have been a bait car.
Okay.
Could have been a bait car for sure.
The crazy part about all of this, okay, so a standard Wi-Fi connection, high-grade upgraded sound system, and voice controls give the Traverse an edge. Navigation, autoplay. Now, if there is Wi-Fi, the question is, does it have OnStar type stuff? Because with OnStar, you can lock up a lot of stuff with OnStar.
Yeah, there's also vehicle disabling devices that have been used by certain agencies for things as well.
Okay.
So
it's very possible.
Do I think it's far-fetched? So do I think it's far-fetched? Yeah, and he could be just saying that everything's fine, that, yeah, it was his fault, but we don't know if he was actually in control of the vehicle when he hit it.
When he hit it.
He also has brain damage, so there's that part of the aspect. So, like, it would be easy to believe that John Fetterman, who is a stroke survivor. I would say, yeah, who has mental impairments, didn't know how fast he was going and slammed into a vehicle. Unless his wife was driving, then this is a totally different story.
Yeah, it'd be a nothing burger because women can't drive. No, I'm just kidding, people. I'm just joking.
Because then it would lead to a more convincing argument that it was perpetrated as a way to warn Fetterman to fall in line. So depending on who was actually driving, like they're saying that he was driving. That's if we take the that as their word. I don't know.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. That he was driving. So with all the things that we know about the DNC and all the shady things that they do to people, would it be a surprise if somebody tampered with his vehicle? No. I don't think that is beyond the realm of possibility, especially when you're not working with the establishment the way that they want you to. He wasn't supposed to be what he is right now. Because you remember the election between him and Dr. Oz, he was supposed to be the progressive, kind of toe the line Democrat. That's what they were expecting, or at least like somebody under him was, because he was cognitively impaired. But they still voted for him. They still got him in.
Yeah.
But he recovered his faculties, and now he's going center.
All right. Let's police report again. Let's bring this back up. I saw something.
Yep.
All right. Looking down here. At fault, yes.
Yeah.
But no citation. He's at fault with no citation.
Why?
One. That's one. Airbags, front deployed, possible injury. And look at this one. Distracted by unknown. Unknown? Really? Really?
Was it unknown, or they're just not saying?
Thank you. I'm pretty sure they would tell you, well, I was distracted by some, or I wasn't distracted at all. For you to say unknown, look, some things people say and you can figure it out, and something they don't say and you can figure it out. They didn't say something, and that's the weird part, is that they are saying it without saying it. You just told me that he was at fault. If you can deduce that at the time, how did you not issue a citation?
Right.
This is your report, police officer. That was your report. You said yes, at fault.
Wait, what police department was handling that?
Which one?
So it was in Maryland, right? What, the police department?
Maryland, yes.
Maryland's?
Maryland State Police.
Oh, the state police.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, this is probably also the type of law enforcement agencies in Maryland that also said Seth Rich was robbed in DC
with all his faculties,
with 2 shots to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And
So he was at fault,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know the reason why he was at fault. But they determined that he was at fault. So he's at fault basically for hitting the back of the other car at what speed? Did they say the speed? They
said a high rate of speed. They didn't say what type of speed it was.
Right.
Just a
high rate. The witness said a high rate, and all they put was a speed limit of 70, and that he was moving at a constant speed.
So
I don't think I've ever had that been said before. The car was moving at a constant speed.
So what, he was doing 80 when he hit you? Like what's high? What's the high rate of speed, my friend? Like what are we saying here?
Where was he coming from? That's the question.
Well, he might be going to church.
They were having their anniversary. Didn't you hear when they were talking about it earlier?
So they were having their anniversary, and what do people usually do at an anniversary dinner?
They go out
and
they have drinks. Probably
they have drinks.
Okay,
but this was this was in the morning.
Oh, well, maybe they were coming back from their anniversary, or maybe they were going to somewhere.
He looks like a frat boy.
Yeah, if it's 8 o'clock in the morning, this dude is probably the most sane as he is first thing in the morning, because even if you have strokes and you have mental problems, usually the mornings are the best time for you. Dementia and all that, whatever. So this is probably the best time that he's in the most awake state. But we also don't know if he was like awake all night the night before or whatever else was happening. But this was his anniversary, and he gets involved in an accident after saying a bunch of things to certain outlets, especially Bill Maher. He was on Bill Maher that weekend saying things, and he gets involved in an accident, just like the other guy who went on to Bill Maher's show who said something and then was arrested the same week. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Ryan Garcia.
Okay. Oh, okay. Look. All right. Okay. All right. I found it.
Huh.
All right. What did they say about his distraction level?
They
Unknown.
did.
Unknown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unknown.
Look at what hers is.
Not distracted. If you lose control of your vehicle, you'll be very distracted.
Who is driving?
Hers is now. This is not his wife. This is the older lady in the front car.
Right.
They obviously they had to ask her if she was distracted, right?
Yeah.
They can deduce that she was not distracted. But the dude that rear-ended her, you can't decipher whether he was distracted or not.
Yeah.
You,
So
you
yes,
tr-
it's an yes or
come
no.
on, look, come on, man, come on.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're trying to lay a groundwork to let him go without any kind of a slap on the wrist. Even you don't know if he was distracted. He didn't ask.
Well, they
All
can
right.
bring it up later.
I have another question. So, if you have a stroke or any type of brain damage or any type of serious medical condition like that,
Mm-hmm.
are you prescribed any type of medications that
Yes.
you have to take certain times of the day?
Mhm.
So,
Probably.
since it was there in the morning, we can count out maybe alcohol, maybe unless
Maybe.
he was hungover from the night before. But could he have been on some type of medication? Maybe.
Okay.
Could be, but they would have said that. It was like
No, they wouldn't.
medication.
No,
like,
No, they
That's what
wouldn't.
I'm getting
said
at.
they could've.
They wouldn't have said. I mean, they're saying there's no distraction. They're saying there's no distraction
No
whatsoever.
distraction. Unknown.
Pretty unknown.
The other thing that's really interesting about this fact is they released the police report openly to
Everybody.
who was that under? It was the USA Today, right? Got it first, and then the New York Post. So like they released that really quick, and I bet you cannot find Jean-Pierre's DUI report anywhere,
But
but you can find evidence.
But the thing is if that's one of the questions they usually ask you in any accident, right? On any site. So if there's a possibility that he is taking medication and he didn't say that he was taking his medication. Maybe they did. Maybe he just lied and it was unknown, but there's no way, man, that you wasn't distracted going that speed and not seeing these people. I mean, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something there that they're hiding from them. Put it out that fast, unknown. The other drivers are known. They knew all her conditions, but they don't know anything about his. It's all unknown. How is that unknown? It's either yes or no, correct?
Yeah.
Were
Was
you
he
distracted?
distracted or was he not?
Or was you? Yes. It's one or the other. It can't be unknown.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
wanna talk
you would
about
think they would have said it was either yes distracted or no distracted.
Oh no,
Yeah.
thank you.
Even at the very simple, is it a yes or no question? Were you distracted or not? Yes. Okay. What was the distraction? Answer. Like
So
that's all it would have been.
So for it to be unknown, here's the only thing I'm thinking. He knew that he was probably on some type of medication. He didn't want to self-incriminate himself. So he said, I'm not talking, about that. I need my lawyer present before I talk about that. So instead, when he didn't say what was wrong, if he was distracted or not distracted, he just didn't say it. Unknown. Because who's going to sit up there and tell a cop when you know you're on some medication where you shouldn't be driving on that medication, because the medication specifically tells you do not operate a motor vehicle while you're taking these meds, right? He takes it, he hits somebody, cop asks him, he doesn't want to talk about it because they can see that he's not drunk, but he's not telling them that he's taking some medications that could, impair his driving also.
I know there are some medications that because they take mostly blood thinners after a stroke.
Yes.
But I know that there are some medication that can cause drowsiness.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't know is what he had been taking. But aside from that, your point of it being something that he didn't want to say, I can give that some credence that he's trying to avoid the appearance that, hey, I could get myself in trouble if I tell him I did take some medication and I shouldn't have been driving. I'm not allowed to operate a road vehicle. I should be having the wife drive, and I didn't do that. This could be problematic. However, if the investigation is going to take place, they'll find out anyway.
True.
And I think it ended up being worse for him to not be straightforward, unless they knew and they decided, okay, we'll put it down as unknown.
Yeah, agreed. But here's the optics. Either he tells them that he was on some medication, he gets booked, and it looks really bad. Or he holds off, allows his team to move in, intercept with the people that he hit, and just get it, talk to their lawyers. The lawyers talk, and you never hear about it again. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
After that charge is dropped, they don't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. And what could the courts do? So I think he backed off so his team can move in, because his team is already on it, man. They were on it like that. They were on it. The minute those people went to the hospital, his team was already on their way to the hospital to keep that stuff from getting out. How much do we have to pay you? What do we have to do? Talk to our lawyers. Boom, 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 boom. Done deal. Never hear about it again. We won't hear about it. But he was on something. He was on something, man. I'm telling you.
You can't tell me that there's not something. There's at minimum something fishy.
Yep.
And it could go both. It could go two ways. It could go as a warning if it was a physical malfunction in the car, and it could go as a cover up if it ends up being that you can't get any information about the accident.
That's right.
And two of them are completely opposite approaches by the powers that be.
Hey, let's just do a quick search. Let's search for the type of medication that is prescribed. Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why I was saying that. A lot of it is for blood thinners, but there are some that cause drowsiness.
Okay, we also don't know if he's on any pain medication either.
Well, he said Advil. He did show the pill bottle for the accident.
Well, I meant
about after
previously before that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of the narcos,
a little perks,
the
perks that's fighting the bikes, slicing up the day.
Like I said, there's too many questions to that accident. Maybe it's just an accident. Maybe it is just an accident. But that's how everything always looks. Maybe it's just a suicide. Maybe a guy just drowned randomly in Obama's house.
But here's the deal. Again, if that was one of us, and we sat up there and we hit somebody, and we sat up there and told the police officers, I wasn't distracted. Are you under the influence? No. They will book us, and they will take us downtown, and they will get a freaking warrant to draw our blood to ensure that it wasn't anything that caused this act. That is exactly what would happen. They wouldn't take our word for it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not on any medication. I'm not drinking. They'd be like, okay, we're going to book you anyway because you caused this accident. People are injured, so we have to take you downtown. Reckless driving.
They wouldn't even have to do that. All they have to do is go, hey, we want to requisition a blood draw once you get to the hospital to see if you're on anything or if your alcohol level is high. That's all they would have to do. They wouldn't even have to do it there at the site. They would be like, okay, we're not going to take you downtown. You're going to the hospital anyway. We'll have them draw it, test it, and see what's up. That's all they would have to do.
None of it happened.
None of it's going to happen.
No.
Okay. And like I said, I think that the tell will be to watch his builds in the next coming months.
Yep.
If his builds start to take a severe turn to the hard left, I think you'll know right away what the problem is. I think we'll figure it out pretty quickly. Because like I said, for him to go Military Personnel Confirmation Restoration Act, Affordable Connectivity Programs, Protecting Students on Campus Act, Access to Family Building Act. None of these things line up with the left. He even co-sponsored a bill with Mark Rubio. A Parity for Child Exploitation Offenders Act. Home Investment Partnership. Child Independent Care. So a lot of his stuff is not going to the left.
It's not
And
progressive enough.
yeah. And so I
Yeah.
can see them trying to say, yo, straighten up, start pushing what we want. Because none of his stuff are green. He has no green stuff in his bills.
Yeah.
He has everything to do with trying to keep kids safe, which the left ain't doing. East Palestine Health Impact Monitoring Act, affordable food and security, anti-Semitism. Look, I'm just going based on what I see politically. He was constantly trying to lean mid to right. And if mid to right is where you're going, you obviously are going against the grain on the Democrat Party because they're mid to left and way left.
And Marlon, back to your anti-Semitism bill. That is a very center right.
Touchy. Yep.
Very center right. So they're looking at it like, and a lot of these leftists are what? Pro
Palestine.
That's right.
Yeah. But they're at odds with their base anyway because of that.
That's crazy to me.
That doesn't surprise me at all. But like one of the other things with Fetterman is that it's hard to look at it because you got Menendez too. They can't lose Fetterman. I think that's one of the main reasons is they have too many seats up in the air. It's kind of off topic, but I wanted to show this video that shows Biden just like losing complete.
I like his facial expression went from smiling to I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Watch his hands too. They just and he looks like, who's this black guy?
You know the music I can hear?
The music that's on this video is actually pretty good, but we get DMCA'd for it. So
wow.
Like, nope.
It's a Beyonce.
He's like, are you? I'm dancing too. Look at man.
I can dance. But yeah, that's
hand me a coat.
But that's who they want him to support. That's who they want Fetterman wants to support is that.
Black people. Oh no. What am I supposed to do?
It smells
he looks
like,
very confused to be there.
It smells like cocoa butter and cool water.
What's going on?
It smells like cocoa butter and cool water, and I smell hot grease
and Mad Dog. Mad Dog 2020. I can smell it all. Slick malt liquor.
But he's okay because he likes going to black churches, right? He grew up.
Well, he was raised in that, and he was raised in the Hispanic one, the Jewish one, the Protestant one, all of them. He's been raised everywhere.
He's gay too.
I've been all the churches, man.
Don't forget that one, Marlon. He's gay too now. He's gay. He's Irish. He's Puerto Rican. He's black. What else has he been? Oh, he's the nephew of a cannibal.
Somebody that was been consumed by cannibals. Yeah.
What else? And so many things, man. He's just an amoeba of people.
I know what he is. He's the world's most interesting man.
He's your modern day Renaissance man.
He's a Dos Equis man.
You know what it is? He's probably going to put like some LGBTQ like bill up that he'll have to sponsor.
Yeah.
Going back to that video, did you see the part where the black dude in the dress kissed him on the hand?
Yeah, that was just so cringe, man.
Weird.
Biden didn't know where he was at. Like that's what it looked like. He really thought he was like
confused.
He thought he was back in 1862, and he was just like,
"Hey, look, that's the look. That's the look that Fetterman's gonna have here soon."
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the precursor.
So if Fetterman doesn't shape up and follow the line, he might just have a stroke again.
Yeah. Or another car.
Honestly, that would be the legitimate way if they were really wanting to get rid of Fetterman, would be for him to get like a dose of the heart attack gun. And
well, don't expect it to happen before election.
No,
it won't.
They can't take that risk. They can't.
They also can't lose the seats because, like I said, they lost Manchin. If they lose Fetterman, that's 2 more seats down because they are trying to keep Bob Menendez in that seat as long as humanly possible, because they cannot have them lose that seat right now.
Well, I think eventually they'll have to do more to keep their seats.
Period. Oh yeah,
and they have they have no qualms about doing that.
Yeah, when it comes to this election, you notice I say that lightly. I think they're going to lose big, man. If it happens, they're going to lose a lot bigger than what they expect. And they're desperate right now.
Very,
very desperate.
Okay, so that goes back to what we were saying. So the reason why they're threatening Fetterman so hard is because they know if they lose, it's game over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of them. Like, did you see what Rachel Maddow said?
Mad cow.
Mad Cow? Yeah. Rachel Madcow, what she said recently in an interview with CNN, that Trump's going to lock her up in a camp and that she's worried about. She's worried about all of us. I need to bring up that clip. Let me find it.
We can only wish that's what would happen. Look, I'm not opposed to it happening to you. I just wish it would.
I mean, AOC said the same thing, right? She said that Donald Trump's going to throw them in jail. Now, the only people that are worried about getting thrown behind jail or getting locked up are people that do what? Something, criminal acts, right? That commit criminal acts. I don't walk around talking about, man, if they catch me driving around right now, they're going to lock me up. Because what would they lock me up for? I haven't done anything wrong. So only people that are criminals talk in that type of language. So obviously these people are scared. Fetterman, you don't hear Fetterman talking like that.
No.
He's
I think
not
this is
worried.
one of the, I think this is one of the ones that she said it.
Trump administration officials have been sending babies and other young children.
Wait, this is an older clip. Never mind. This is the wrong one. This is, she said this.
I love that one where she was crying. That was a beautiful one. Like,
yeah, this is another one. But it's not the first time she said this about the camps.
That dude
guy
gets on my nerves.
Yeah, that's a guy.
Yeah, that dude gets on my nerves.
Just as bad as Brian Stelter.
I don't know. I think she's a little more masculine than Brian Stelter.
Yeah, much. But anyway, Friday, guys, we were going to have Famous Fridays, but a different topic has floated up. Not sure many of you seen the now viral young lady, white lady, that did a TikTok and used the N-word, no ER. And she has since been fired from her job, canceled everywhere, but she's still been making her rounds on social media. So we're going to talk about her statement and see if any of it has the earmarks of racism, or is she just trying to blend in with the culture that's being pushed?
Yeah.
What's her name? Great Deal Paula?
Huh?
I think her name is Great Deal Paula or something.
The reason why it's such a big issue is that apparently she's a trad
What is that?
You know,
or a chat
trad wife. No. Like for a traditional wife, like she's a trad wife. She cooks, that kind of thing. It's the feminist nightmare. That's what it is. That's why it's an issue to begin with.
I mean, I thought allies can say that though, Marlon. Aren't they allowed to say every other racial?
Not an ally.
Oh, she's not an ally, so she's not allowed to say it. But if an ally said it,
oh yeah, they're good.
It'll be all right. Okay.
Yeah, like when Hunter Biden was like doing a bunch of crack and waving his gun around, and he was singing to a rap song, is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, allies are okay.
Lily Gattis is her name.
Lily
Gattis.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for that.
So we're going to talk about Lily and her racist tropes that she did online. Oh, and we might trigger a few people. At least I know I will with my take on this.
Are we going to say the word?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay.
If a white girl could do it and get canceled, why can't I? I'm white too.
Charleston White said everyone.
He says it all the time.
Yeah, everyone can say it.
Get y'all. It's their word anyway. So it's the white people's word anyway.
Hey, look, real quick. For the people in the audience, that'd be your day to get it off your chest.
Yeah, come in venting.
Just come in saying it.
Tomorrow, like I said, we'll be talking on Straight Talk about the indoctrination of kids in the LGBTQ via the church. I noticed the video I did today is doing well, but it's also got a lot of backlash because they think I shouldn't be critiquing a black pastor or a pastor, period. Tough. I'll continue to do it. Get over yourself. You're not that important. And if you do something in public, I have the right to speak about it in public.
Yep.
See, they need that little bit of cloud cover because, you know, hey, if you're a priest and you do it, it's no. But if you're gay, a gay priest, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Right.
And on that, you know, it just drives me crazy how these people gatekeep everything. And no one's allowed to discuss anything. You can't talk about women's reproductive. You can't talk about race if you're not part of that. You know, like Marlon said, we have the right to talk about anything that we want. If it's out there for everyone to see, we have the right to critique it. So people need to get over themselves because we're going to talk about it. I ain't no woman, but I'm going to talk about my opinion on everything.
There you go.
Right. So, but these are also the same people that like to infiltrate other people's hobbies and then ruin them because they want to critique it to death. But there's like, no. We got to gatekeep everything else, but I'm going to go into your hobby and tell you how it should be done.
Make that make sense.
Yep.
Right. It's like, there's not enough gay people here. It'd be a shame if something happened to your IP.
But tonight, we're supposed to. Do not hold us to this yet. There's a whole lot going on in Too Strong World, and we're planning to. We may or may not go live tonight, but we're planning to. Planning. I just want to make sure I, put that out there in case people get mad that we didn't go live. The hope is, whether it happens or not, situations will tell. So the plan is to go live, but we'll be back on Friday, and Saturday is our Rumble event. Don't miss that. And Sunday I will be doing a new episode of Straight Talk there too. So we'll catch you guys then. Don't forget to go to the store, check out the t-shirts. They're doing well, especially the Imperial. The Imperial shirt is probably one of the best ones we've gotten so far. Go get your Imperial shirts. Okay.
What about the invert?
And we need to get an invert one.
Invert.
I put his picture on there and put invert.
And then we got that other guy too. He needs one too. What can we do?
What word did he use? We got to find a word that he used.
He should. What's that kung fu master? Tiger, whatever.
Oh, Connor.
Yeah, Connor. The kung fu
master. If you want to live. I might have to do that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Diabetes. That's what I might do it.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Diabetes. Yep.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Diabetes. Let me write that down.
Oh man, that'd be a good one for him. We got invert and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Diabetes.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Diabetes.
And everyone was kung fu fighting.
Ciao.
All right. I'm going to have to go grab his picture and make sure I put that up there in the kung fu style too. I got to make sure I catch the...
Let's make it a panda.
Too Strong. Well, if we do it today, it'll be either between 8:30 and 9 Eastern tonight. Okay, between 8:30 or 9. So just keep an eye out on the page. Make sure you get the notification bell in black, not white. That means all notifications will be on. Okay, so we'll catch you guys on Friday, and I'll see you guys for Straight Talk in the morning. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
War.